blue box around it, the blue line, and moving things around. So I'm going to move this here and this here. I held down spacebar to allow me to move around. I get the hand tool. You can hold down Alt and zoom in and out to get a little more close up. Okay, so that's already looking somewhat better. I'm going to leave it at that so to move along this tutorial. Next thing you're going to do is work on your arrangement or spacing. These can be as big or small as you want, but I do want them to have some sort of order. So you can see those guidelines popping up that are showing you when these are aligned top to bottom. So you can check on, getting these perfectly aligned. You're always holding down Shift because that's what we do. And I also want to show you that I've got a little more white space here than I do over here. If I drag over all three of these top squares and go to my Properties panel, these are the alignment options, and there's a lot in here. It takes a minute to get to know them, but this one is a horizontal distribute center. If I click it and you watch that white space, it'll even out the space in between those squares. And then I can make sure all three are selected and move them into the center of the page. So I'm going to spend a minute doing that, and I'll come back.
Have our boxes.
Our boxes all arranged on our page. Our text is still in default mode, so you can spend a little bit of time holding down Shift and changing those typefaces over here in our character palette. A shortcut is to highlight the text and roll with your mouse until you find one you like. Another shortcut would be to click and hold down Shift on all these different titles. And then what you're going to use is a tool called the Eyedropper Tool. It's right over here. And you're going to click on the typeface that you liked and chose for the first design. So they'll all pop to the same size and the same font. So you can arrange those one at a time on your page how you like. So I'm just going to quickly slide these into place. And then the last thing that's necessary for this design, because you can get as complicated as you want, after the 6 schemes, the titles, the last thing that's required is a background. So you're going to take this rectangle tool and drag across the entire background. It's going to leave you with a big black box. You didn't kill your design. What you did was you created a black box over top of everything else. Black because our fill options are black here. So if we right-click it and arrange and send to back, which is what we need to do in Illustrator because we don't have layers like we did in Photoshop, you'll see your color schemes, but you won't see your titles because they're also black. So to change the background color, it's selected. We see our blue box here with our anchor points. If we use that eyedropper tool again, we can start to click inside our designs and pull out a color that you think would look good with the rest of the colors in the design. It might take you a while to settle on one that you like. If you also want, you can click and hold down Shift on all your typefaces again and do that same thing. Choose the eyedropper tool, click inside the design until you find a color that you like for the titles. So that's the bare minimum of what you need. You can do other things, build other boxes or lines, but as long as you have the 6 schemes, the titles, and a background color, you're in good shape. You're going to save that as an Illustrator file and then save it as a JPEG for your portfolio.